Hello students, welcome back to Florence Academy. Today we'll be discussing how to write a table. One mistake that most students make is that they write all the details of the table. That is not required. Actually, your band will go low if you write all the details of the table. You are expected to point out the key features. You are expected to compare and contrast. And at the same time, you are expected to show your skills in clubbing together similar points or similar details. Okay, so we'll start with the table. Now, the following table gives statistics showing the aspects of quality of life in 5 countries in the year 2000. Summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. So, when you look at this table, there are some details about 5 countries: Bangladesh, Pakistan, Vietnam, Bhutan, Japan. So, no matter what the table is, your first paragraph will always be the paraphrase of your question. So, I'm going to start with the first paragraph. The table now gives, I'm going to say, provides information on the aspects of the quality of life in 5 countries in the year 2000. So 5 countries, maybe I can write 5 Asian countries because all are Asian. Asian nations, maybe. Countries I can paraphrase into nations. Aspects of quality of life. The table provides information on. Maybe I can write the measurables because these things are measured. Measurables of the quality of life, maybe standard of life or standard of living. Quality of life can be paraphrased as standard of living in 5, of course, you can't change. 5 Asian nations in 2000. If you want, you can also write which are the Asian nations, okay? The table provides information on the measurables of the standard of living in Bangladesh, Pakistan, Vietnam, Bhutan, and Japan in 2000. That is also another way of writing the introduction. Overall, now my second paragraph is the overview paragraph. It's always going to start with overall. What are the key features you see here? What are the most significant things that you observe as soon as you see the table? That should come in your overview paragraph. Japan. The highest and the lowest are very evident. Japan has the highest GNP, the highest number of calories consumed per person. Life expectancy is also the highest in Japan, and infant mortality rate is the lowest in Japan. So we can conclude that from the data, we can conclude that Japan offers the highest quality of life to the citizens, or the best quality of life. So that is going to be my key point. And let me see which is the lowest. 570, 690, 580 sounds average. 2086, 290, okay. Pakistan, Vietnam, Bhutan, somewhat similar numbers. 50, 56, 49, 124, of course. This is the highest infant mortality ratio. 97, 87. But then Bangladesh tops the infant mortality rate at 132, and the life expectancy is the lowest. Daily calories consumed is the lowest, and GNP is also the lowest. So it is very evident from this this table that Bangladesh offers the least quality life. and Japan offers the highest. Now, since the data is in 2000, we have to write everything in past tense. Overall, it is observed that Japan offered the best quality of life to its citizens, while Bangladesh provided the least. Since all the numbers are the least for Bangladesh, we can safely write that it provided the least. No need to again write least quality of life. It's evident because we have already mentioned about the quality of life in the earlier part of the sentence. Okay. Now, what do we observe? It's not enough to write one key feature in your overview paragraph. You can write more than that. The other countries, you don't have to write the names. Vietnam, Pakistan and Bhutan the other countries showed, maybe I can say similarity in certain aspects, as well as an average quality of life. Okay. So this is my overview is done. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to club Pakistan, Vietnam and Bhutan. You can take any country or any combination of your choice. But then there isn't a single way of doing it. Multiple ways are there to write a table task. But here I'm going to club Pakistan, Vietnam and Bhutan together. And because I'm going to club the similar points, like 570, 580 is very similar in the GNP. And 2086, 2956, 2296 are all under 3000. So that is another way of clubbing the data. You can either put it together range, or you can write the average of something, or you can club it all under something or over something. These are all, there are multiple ways of presenting the data. Okay. So in my body paragraph 1 or my third paragraph, I'm going to write about Pakistan, Vietnam, and Bhutan were similar in terms of which one? I think daily calories consumed, no? Daily calories, okay. So these are all in 2000 range. So I can write it's under 3000 because Japan is above 3000 and Bangladesh is way less than 2000. Okay. Or I can write between the range 2000 to 3000. That's also another way of saying it. So Pakistan, Vietnam and Bhutan were similar in terms of daily calories consumed per person, which was between 2000 and 3000. Okay. There was only a marginal difference in the GNP per person in Pakistan and Bhutan. If you notice, it's 10. The difference is 10. While Vietnam, it is above 100. And this is in dollars, okay? This is in US dollars. So maybe that data I can write. You don't have to write each and everything in the of the 3 countries you are taking. There is no need to write each and every data. It's not required. It's a report writing, so you have to write only the key features. So now I'm going to compare Pakistan and Bhutan with Vietnam. Even though there were similar numbers when it comes to daily calories, here there's quite a difference about $100. So I'm going to write. There was only a marginal, because $10 difference is quite marginal. Marginal difference in GNP per person in Pakistan and Bhutan at, okay. Now when you write two countries and two numbers, there always should be respectively, because otherwise the order will be, there will be a problem with that. So Pakistan is at 570, and let's put the sign dollar, and $580 respectively. Okay. Vietnam exceeded this. Okay, that is my comparison point. Vietnam exceeded this by more than $100. It's way more than $100. 570 and 580. It's like 110, 120 difference. Wait, so this by more than $100. Again, I'm putting the symbol. Okay. Now, let me take another point. Maybe I'm going to write about, I've covered the daily calories and the GNP. Maybe life expectancy or infant mortality is again 124 and 87, 97. Okay. Okay, I can write about 124, 97, 87. Okay. The infant mortality rate, ratio is way more in Pakistan than the other two countries at 124,000. Okay. So this is my data. This is my second paragraph. Sorry, my third paragraph. Now I'm going to write my last paragraph. Okay, now Pakistan, Vietnam, and Bhutan are done. My last paragraph is going to be a comparison between Japan and Bangladesh. Okay, now maybe we'll start with the infant mortality, or should I start with the 4074 one? Okay. I've already written about infant mortality of the other three countries. So maybe I'll write about, okay, I'll write about infant mortality. The infant mortality rate of Japan. So make sure to write everything in past tense, because so this is another common mistake which students make. They write in present tense or future tense, but it should be in past tense, which was, there was only a marginal difference. Vietnam exceeded the infant mortality ratio. Oh, here I have written in, was way more than. Okay. So make sure you write all past tense. Okay. Now the infant mortality rate of Japan was less than 1/10. So if you look at the figures, you understand that there is a connection between 132 and 12. Okay. 132 and 12. 12 into 10 is 120, and this is more than that. So I can say Japan, the infant mortality rate of Japan was less than 1/10 that of Bangladesh. Sorry, it's not rate, it's ratio of Japan was less than 1/10 that of Bangladesh. Now, why are we making this comparison? Because here we can compare the GNP of Bangladesh to Japan, which is like again 1,000, 100. I think it's 100 because 140 into 100 will be 14,000. So again, it's less than 100th, right? So here, as you can put a connector like as opposed to or in contrast to, these are the connectors you can use while connecting to opposite or contrasting data. Bangladesh as opposed to that of Japan. Okay, the infant mortality rate of Japan was less than 1/10 that of Bangladesh. Okay, here I'll put while because I'm going to write another connector, another point. While the GNP per person in Bangladesh was 100th. Okay, 100th that of Japan. So it'll be very nice if you can make these kind of patterns with the figures given. What is 1/10 of what? What is 100th of what? Okay, or 100 times, 100-fold, quadruple, quintuple, triple, double, 1/4, a quarter of, or half of. These kind of number relations, if you can make, it will be very nice to present the data in a different way. The life expectancy. Okay, now that I've mentioned about the infant mortality rate as well as the GNP, I can take the life expectancy now. The life expectancy at birth was thrice more because 40 life expectancy at birth was 40 years. This is, sorry, not thrice more, it's 30 years more, no? Was 3 decades more for the Japanese. Okay, now here you can write the Japanese because an average Japanese is expected to live up to 74 years, while an average Bangladeshi is expected to live up to 40 years. So here you can write the life expectancy at birth was 3 decades more for the Japanese as opposed to the Bangladeshi. This is also another way of writing the data. Instead of writing Japan, Bangladesh, you can also write about the nationalities. So that is the end of your writing task.